We are holding in page 106.
106.
Kuf Vav.
I feel like a kuf.
You have to get a cardiologist for this one.
That's it. In the previous chapter, we're holding in chapter 30. Thursday, the 16th of Adar, overview of chapter 30. In the previous chapter, in chapter 29, we learned that it is possible that a person's evil inclination will prevent them from being properly aroused to serve Hashem. Meaning they'll serve Hashem, but they'll not be properly aroused. And the way to deal with this is through humbling and crushing the klippah. The Alter Rebbe provided various humility meditations to achieve this goal. And the Alter Rebbe gave us different ways of meditating on how to humble the animalistic soul, or the evil inclination. Now, the Alter Rebbe provides a further meditation on how to achieve a true humility, breaking the grip of the animal-like soul on the heart, realizing how one is truly lower than every other person, hinges on seeing every human in their individual context and circumstances, thus not judging. Because we many times look at another person and say, oh, he's this, he's that. We don't really know their upbringing, what they saw in their house, how they were brought up, what kind of education what kind of people they were involved with, who they encounter. You just come from the side and say, he's poor this guy, he's poor that guy. Do you know what the education, do you know what was he exposed to, what type of information? Maybe his house was 24 hours, CNN was running. Maybe CNBC was running 24 hours in his house. Maybe his father was a hardcore socialist. So we don't know. How can you judge a person? You were never in his shoes. And even if you think you know, you go with him to work? Are you married to his wife? You don't know what kind. Did you meet his mother-in-law? Did you meet his father-in-law? Did you speak to them? No. So how can we judge anybody? In today's lesson, be humble before every person. Even the sinner. Even if you're meeting somebody that is sinning, you still have to be humble, even before that guy. This is achieved by judging everyone favorably and realizing that one shouldn't judge another negatively until you walk in their shoes. Can't walk anybody negatively. The problem is they're not going to fit. In order for them to fit you, you have to be exactly him. The point that he's making, there's no way to judge anybody negatively. And you know what? We should even change our desire to do so. I'm not even going into, God forbid, judging somebody. Don't even change that desire to do so. It needs to be changed. Because why constantly we have to be judging other people? You want to judge somebody, judge yourself. And trust me, there's a lot to judge with every person. You can judge your character, you can refine your character, you can judge every single aspect. Thought, speech, and action can be judged. I think it was the Tzemach Tzedek who said that Hashem gave us two eyes. One is to see the good with someone else, and the second one is to see our shortcomings. To see to see your problems, look in the mirror, see what needs to be corrected. And the other eye, the right eye, the Ayin Tova, is to see good in other people. But none of them are used to see anything bad in other people.
I'm not a big fan of Bernie Sanders, but I know what he's saying.
Od zeis yosim libei lekayim ma'amar b'sen zichron v'ochav v'shfal ruach b'fnei kol adam. One who suffers from Timtum Halev, we said, is a dullness of heart, that he doesn't feel anything. He davens is like a refrigerator that's davening, not size-wise, temperature-wise. And he can't feel anything, nothing penetrates, there's no emotions. It's just a lip service. Must also set his heart to fulfill the instruction of our sages, be lowly of spirit before every man. Ve'evei be'emes la'amitay, not in a make-believe. Be'emes la'amitay, the wording implies be thus, and do not merely act thus, in all sincerity, bifnei chol ha'adam mamash afilu bifnei kal shebekalim, in the presence of every man, even in the presence of the most worthless of worthless men, kal shebekalim. How is one expected to regard himself as being lowlier than the lowliest sinner? How can you regard yourself in such a way? It says this can be accomplished by following the instruction of our sages. Judge not your fellow man until you have placed yourself in his place. For it is literally his place, his physical environment that caused him to sin. That's what I meant before. It's what he's watching in his house and what he had in his, how he grew up, his parents. Everything that we have in our life is shaping us to who we are. Leo's parnasosi, maybe this guy is his livelihood. Leilech bashuk, he goes in the market. Kol hayem, he has a booth in the bazaar, in the market. Ulios mishvekrones, and he is the one who sits in the marketplace all day. Whenever he is not engaged, he is of those who sit in the street corners. Even if he's not working, he's sitting on the fence. His eyes see all sorts of temptations. What the eyes see, the heart desires. His heart is desire. You ever seen a brick oven? A pizza oven? So it says a guy who's in the market all day, is working in the mall. He's seeing all different visuals, and he says his evil inclination is in flames, is burning. How can I judge somebody if we're sitting here? We don't have the same temptation. We don't have the same visuals. I see you guys. He is sitting there. He sees all the.
Rabbi, it was only just the other day I was in college and I used to hang out by a pizza joint in Miami Beach, and I swear I really needed a neck brace because I had whiplash.
No, that's why you have a strong neck.
No, it was like this. Now it's in the Torah. Look at that.
Windshields. And windshields. So, additionally, it may be his spiritual place, the nature of his evil impulse, that leads him to sin. His evil nature burns like a baker's fiery oven, which is heated with a greater frequency and intensity than a domestic oven. As it is written in Isaiah, it burns like a flaming fire. It is different, however, with him who goes about but little in the marketplace and most of the day is at home rather than at the street corners, and he therefore encounters less temptations. You can also have another guy who's in the market the whole day. He's in the street corners the whole day, but his evil inclination is not so heated up. Not necessarily. It could be that it's temper. It's his temperament. He's not the type of a guy. He's not getting excited. He's a kalteid. So it says, even if he does go about the marketplace all day, so that his physical place is the same as that of the kal shebekalim, yet it may be that his spiritual place is different, in that he is not so passionate by nature, and is therefore not as greatly tempted by the sights of the marketplace. Why? Ki ein hayetzer shova b'chol nefesh. For the evil impulse is not the same in everyone. One person's nature may be more passionate, and the other's less so, as explained elsewhere. But if the misdeeds of the kal shebekalim are indeed attributable to his environment and to his passionate nature, why does he deserve his derogatory appellation? To this the Alter Rebbe replies, and this will be continued, this part will be answered tomorrow. So the point is like this. First of all, we are not in the same environment, and even if we are to be in the same environment, we have a different type of Yetzer Hara. We have a different type of evil inclination.